Yeah, Ted, I wanted to ask you about a comment that Butch Jones made after the game. He said it sounded like you guys' team speed overall as a team caught him by surprise. And I think he was referring to film study. When you see Oklahoma on film 2022 and you portray that to what happened on Saturday, he was taken aback. I think his staff was kind of surprised by your team speed. Can you address how much faster you are this year as a team defense than last year and how that manifested?
Well, I don't know if I could give you an exact figure on the speed, but I think we're certainly we were fresh, we were well conditioned. Our guys were hungry, and it showed. They confident, and they played fast, and it was a good result.
How much did that maybe make itself clear with the transfers that you guys added?
I think certainly they certainly added to it, and you go back to depth. I mean, we didn't play that. We didn't play that many plays defensively, so I think it's a combination of things. Sure.
First row, far right, Ryan Chapman.
Jacoby got in really early and played significantly. What have you seen from him through the fall to kind of link up and earn that kind of role early on?
Yeah, so far this fall we've seen a guy that is really prideful in how he prepares. He's mature, and he's talented, and he likes and he's a competitor, and so yeah, a bunch of good things we've seen from him.
Go down the line, George.
Yeah, Ted, Kip Lewis was, I think, the first linebacker that got in. Just what has he shown and how has he impressed you so far through fall camp?
Kip's really matured. He's a different guy than he was last year, and I'm really proud of him. He played really hard, played fast, and is starting to have confidence, as far as knowing what to do year two in the system. And, the first year of transition from high school to college and then into a new system and then the next year. And he's made some good strides, and expect him to continue to make good strides.
How good are just his instincts? It seems like he has good eyes and just knows where the football's going.
Yeah, he's very instinctive. That's one of his strengths. Yeah.
Jenny?
Another question about linebackers, Ted. I mean, obviously, competition is going to get harder as the season goes along.
Sure.
But what you've seen from camp and now first game, do you have a sense of how many linebackers you may be able to play, and what would kind of be that ultimate rotation in your mind, numbers-wise?
Well, I think we played either 12 or 13 on Saturday, and we're not going to have the luxury of doing that too many times at the linebacker position. But you'd like to keep good rotation, to keep guys fresh, and at the same time, guys that are in backup roles getting meaningful reps when the game's in balance and things of that, because that's how they grow and that's how they continue to grow and develop. And so, but a lot of that's dictated by the circumstances of the game and by how guys practice and how they play when they have their opportunities. So there's a lot of things that go into that, but we want to play a bunch of guys, as many guys that earn it.
Is like 9? I mean, like you said, 12 is probably not a reasonable number in every game, but 8, 9, I mean, would that be too many to try to get out there in the normal flow of the game?
Well, the thing you run into is, no, I don't think that's too many. You're limited in practice reps. So, guys preparing within the game plan, that part of it. So, like I said, we were able to play our fourth team. And what was really cool about that was our first team and second team guys were on the field screaming at them about protecting the shutout. And that was a big deal, and that was like a really cool thing to see, how prideful everybody was about that.
Ryan?
Yeah, Ted, obviously a lot of talk about the line going into the season and after the game on Saturday. What did you learn about those guys when you went back and reviewed the game that maybe you didn't know Saturday afternoon?
I think a lot of things were affirmed. I think that we knew what we had, and we played 44 guys on defense, so we had some depth there to be able to rotate guys and not see drop-offs, and that's an encouraging sign. Again, we've still got a lot of things to get better at and improve on, and we've got to do that. So, but at the same time, it was a great start, and that's what it was a start. So, but we've got to improve a lot this week. Sure.
Dad, what impressed you the most about the way Gentry played on Saturday?
I thought he played really fast, and I thought he played confident. You know, his first start, and there wasn't a lot of hesitation. He played fast, and he played with confidence. And, you know, Coach Valai has done a great job with him, you know, bringing him along, and Gentry's bought into everything. He wants to do it right. He's so detail-oriented for a young guy that he's like at another level for a guy that's, you know, at his point in career as far as the details. He wants to be coached. He wants to be coached hard, and I have a lot of respect for him.
What did you see out of him in his freshman year, that growth when he was really seemed like a sponge learning everything? What did you see out of him last year?
I think you said the right word. He was a sponge trying to learn everything. And, you know, year one in the system, year one in college football. And so I saw a lot of growth, and at the same time, now with some more reps, you know, the increased reps where things become muscle memory, where it's bam, bam, bam instead of dot to dot to dot, but bam, 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 bam. And that's, you know, like you see, that's no different than most every kid at every position on defense. Sure.
Talk about SMU and what they do offensively coming into the game. What are they impressed with?
Thank you for asking that question about moving on to the next game. I appreciate that. You know, certainly their head coach and their offensive coordinator, I was with them on staff when we were at Auburn when we won the national championship. And so I have familiarity with those guys, have a lot of respect for them. They're a well-coached football team. They go fast. They hit you with a lot of different formations, a lot of different motions, and also from a schematic standpoint, you know, a lot of variation in what they do. Their quarterback's a guy that, you know, that was his second start and is impressive. Stone moves in the pocket well, is a quarterback run threat, and at the same time can make all the throws. They had some big plays at receiver, a lot of speed, and the tight ends are really multi-dimensional, you know, the receivers and their blockers. And then the running backs, I thought the depth at running back, they did, you know, broke some big runs. They had Johnson ran for 124 yards on 14 carries, I think. So the ability to do both, to run the ball and then, you know, take shots.
Ted, on a day where you guys primarily rush for and they're running heavy protections, what are you looking for when you sit down to grade things out, and what were some of those elements that were affirmed about the defensive line for you on Saturday?
Well, you're right. You know, we saw a lot of max protection, and we anticipated that. So, you know, but as far as, you know, being able to get the quarterback off his spot with 4, and then when that happens and when teams are maxing up, you know, your coverage and your rush have to work together. Your coverage has got to do a good job and buy those guys some more times, because if they're in 7-man protection and you're rushing 4, that means 3 guys are getting double teamed and only 1 guy's got singled up. So, you know, it's got to work together, and, you know, we anticipated that.
You know, he didn't have a lot of reps Saturday, but DJ Terry did earn the start, and for someone that wasn't even involved during spring football, what does that say about him? What did he show during camp that he can make that sort of leap that fast?
Well, he earned that. You know, he earned that starting job. He's a guy that came in from day one extremely humble, and all he wanted to do was learn and be coached and grow and get better. And we absolutely love his attitude, love his work ethic, and expect him to go like that.
Hey Ted, you've mentioned a few second-year guys that saw, you know, snaps on Saturday. Jaron, Kip, Kobe. Just, you know, when you got guys in the second year in the system, you know, seeing maybe a bigger role than they did last year, what do you hope to see from them on the field?
I hope to see people playing fast, people playing physical, and people playing with confidence and knowing what to do and helping other people know what to do. And I think they're growing. They're not where we want them yet, but they've certainly grown in that department. And you know, we got to continue to grow, and I want to continue to see that development, which I'm confident that we will.
What is the mental aspect of, as a freshman, just getting adjusted to the college transition, getting used to the system, but then, second year seeing snaps, what is that transition?
Well, if you look at just looking at it big picture wise, you look at a freshman transition to college that doesn't play football. There's a lot of things that go on with that. And then you throw on the football aspect, jumping from high school football to college football at University of Oklahoma. There's a lot of transition involved and a lot of new and a lot of guys wanting to feel like, hey, I can do this, because it can be overwhelming walking into the University of Oklahoma. But guys and then just stay with it, and the guys that can handle the bumps in the road, because there's going to be bumps in the road, and guys that want to continue to be coached hard and handle the bumps and continued growth. And that's what I've seen out of those guys. Sure.
Back right, Brandon.
Yeah, Ted, came in late, didn't play much last year, but Kobe McKenzie, what have you seen from him, I guess, through the fall, and what did you see out there, maybe not in exactly, primetime duty, but what he showed from you on film that may give you confidence later on in the season that he can start to play a little bit more?
Well, all reps are valuable reps. There is, for us as coaches and for them as players, there is no not as significant reps. Every rep is significant. And Kobe's a guy that works extremely hard at learning what to do, learning the entire picture, not just his job. And he came in, he had a lot of production for his number of snaps, and I thought he did a good job.
Okay, third row, Tarek.
Hey, Coach. Con Rainier just got a couple snaps on Saturday, but first reps in the Division I game, what did you see out of him? You mentioned the adjustment of playing against bigger players. How do you feel like he adjusted?
I thought he did well. We were going 3 and out there at a pretty good clip, and then one of the series he was in, I think we took a ball away on the first had to take away on the first play. But another guy that transitioned into the University of Oklahoma in this system at this level of football, and we've all been real impressed with Connor. Again, a guy that takes tremendous pride in how he works, how he prepares, wants to be coached hard, and is working to get all the details down. And I expect him to continue to grow and get better because this is really important to him.
Left side, third row, Randall.
What did you think of Peyton Bowen's performance on Saturday, and how do you think he's going to contribute to this defense moving forward?
Well, I was pleased with Peyton. I thought he tackled well. I thought we tackled well as a defense, but I was impressed with him, his ball skills, his instincts. Again, we could make it whatever, but that was his first, action in college football. And there's something that goes with that first time, getting past, getting through it, and then where it just becomes football again, as opposed to, oh my gosh, this is the first time. But the moment's not too big for him, and again, he's got such a bright future.
Time for one more, if there is one. Eric.
You mentioned Coach Lashley. What do you remember about him in 2010? Just his journey from being a GA on that Auburn staff to what he's accomplished now being at SMU.
I remember him having twins just after we had twins. Our twins were like 10 years, 11, 12 years old, and he had twins. So there was a lot of communication about raising twins. And he's a good coach and has obviously had a great career, but certainly expected him to do that and saw it at a very young age. Happy for him and get to play against him this week.
We'll do one last one. Second row, Mason.
Ted, Kenai Walker was a guy that flashed a little bit on Saturday. What's been the biggest difference for him between last year and this year?
Just consistency. The consistency in the transition after he transferred, just the consistency of how he's worked, how he's put in time, put in the work, and how I've seen him get better, and not some of the not like this, but I've seen him go like that.
Brent talked about after the game that the play he made is something that Jay teaches, every day in practice.
Yeah.
Has there been kind of a transition from raw talent to fundamentality for him?
Yeah, practice reps is game reality, and that's what happened.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure, yeah.